one of the things that Trump did very effectively was open people's eyes to the unfairness. He looked at it in the trade with a trade lens, and he's absolutely right. How come, simplistically, how come if we sell a car to China, they charge, a 20% tariff, but if they not car, whatever, we sell a good to China, it's 20%, and when they sell something to us, it's 2%. Shouldn't there be reciprocity? Like, shouldn't the tariffs be the same? We're getting screwed. And, President Trump is a deal maker, and he saw us getting ripped off. And I think his perspective was, we're getting ripped off because we're allowing ourselves to get ripped off, which is stupid. And so he decided to make trade changes, put companies on trade entity lists, and really start pushing back. And when he did, all of a sudden people said, wait, he's kind of right. And in retrospect, he was 100% right on this. But it goes far, far beyond trade.
Where else does it go?
Everywhere. So let's understand what we're dealing with. And I think this is a very important thing for you and your listeners to understand. China is not like anything we've faced before. It is an adversary. It's not a competitor, right? Great power competition. We are in an invisible war, and it's been going on for a long time. You say, what does that mean, an invisible war? Well, it takes many forms, and the vectors of attack are seemingly nowhere but everywhere at the same time. Intellectual property theft, okay? We lose more every year in intellectual property theft than in almost anything. Hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars have been stolen by China to advance their manufacturing, to advance their dual-use technologies, to advance their military, and so forth. This is happening at universities. This is happening at companies. I mean, it was like 2 months ago that a Chinese citizen working at Google left the company with a thumb drive, and he was on his way to Beijing. I mean, this is happening every day. You have Chinese scientists at Livermore Labs or wherever stealing stuff. So there's that element, which I think a lot of people understand. What people may not understand is China's ties to organized crime and to money laundering operations. The Chinese at this point have as much, if not more, power than the cartels because they are the money bags behind everything. We lose, 100,000 people to fentanyl every year? Mm-hmm. In World War II, we lost, 400,000 people? We're losing a quarter of the people we lost in World War II every year. And by the way, all the APIs, all the precursors to fentanyl come from one place. They come from China. And it's hard for me to understand if the Chinese Communist Party is in control of pretty much everything, and they are, it's hard for me to fathom that they wouldn't be willingly trying to poison the United States. Mm-hmm. It's deliberate. Mm-hmm. So there's that. We have across the world, the United States being thwarted by the likes of Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, certainly Russia, in this hemisphere, Venezuela, and a lot of it goes back to China. There is a new axis that's developing, and China is the economic might behind all of this. And so we're seeing it play out in lots of different places, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's coordinated.
It seems to me like they have us at pretty much every angle, which scares the hell out of me. I mean...